Part 2 is finally here, and time is a strange thing. I've learned that a lot these last few years doing YouTube, because it does feel like, for me, that I reviewed Dune Part 1 like a few months ago, and it's been a minute. I really enjoyed Part 1, and I remember they were talking like, they don't know if they're going to do Part 2 depending on how well it does, and they cleared it. Part 1 was a mega success, and I'm happy to say Part 2, for me, it's even better than Part 1. Now, if you've seen Part 1 and you like it, you can stop this video. Just go and see it. I promise you, you will like this movie. It is, for me, it's better than the first one. Character, lore, world building, visuals, the sound, for me, and villains as well is a mega thing. But for me, all of that is better in this movie than the first movie. And I still really love the first movie. It feels like I'm like kind of knocking the first one down, but I genuinely think the second one is better. I'll be fair though, if you didn't like the first one, there is nothing in this movie that will win you over, especially with that runtime, boy. It's a thick boy. Do you know what I mean? So don't go into this movie if you're not sure about the first one, you never really go into it. This ain't gonna be the movie to, reel you in. It's just not gonna be, man. It's one of those things, you either like it or you don't. And it's totally fine if you don't like it. I have a lot of friends who really don't like Dune. They think it's extremely overrated. Said in my old review, this might shock some people. I never saw the originals. I never read the books. I went into the first one with a clean slate and I really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed this movie as well. All the characters are amplified in this movie and they got a lot of stuff to do. Now, that is one thing I will say, I'll be fair. There's a lot of new characters and some of them, they don't get as much screen time as you think, especially as this movie being so long as it is. You would have really thought that every character would be fleshed out, they'd have things to do, their own little side stuff, and they really do not have those things. There's a lot of characters that are not underutilized, but they don't have as much screen time as you might assume they would have. But the characters you do see on the screen, they're great, man. They're great in the first movie, they're great here. I think the visuals are better in this movie. There's a lot of... I don't even want to spoil it, man. I'm probably showing the trailer like as B-roll over this anyway, so you get an idea what's going on. And again, if you like the first movie, you're going to like the visual in this movie. The sound, damn, man. The soundtrack is so unique and just weird that it's amazing from the first movie. It's back again. It's just as good. Story's pretty much, well, again, to be honest, you see the first one, you know where it's going. And again, I went into this not knowing anything. I just saw the trailers. It pretty much went to the places I thought it was going to be, but there were definitely some things that did catch me off guard and I did appreciate a lot. But again, on the flip side, there were certain things that I just wish hit a little bit harder. But overall, this is an absolute banger. I mean, I can see this being in people's like top 5 favourite movies of the year. Currently right now, it is in the top 5. My favourite. It's probably my second favourite movie of the year, but we are only in February. We've got a lot of time left. But it's just more Dune goodness, better than the first one, and I like the first one a lot. Some of the characters don't have as much screen time. Some of the story beats with these certain things, I can't say because it is spoiler heavy, they just didn't land as hard as I wanted to. But overall, man, I can't lie, these are banging movies, man. They are really, really good. I like this more than the first one, and I'm going to give Dune Part 2 8.5 nerds out of 10. There is an argument for 9 out of 10. Just those few little things have knocked it down a little bit. I will say though, the experience of this movie alone is worth to spend your dollars and go and see it, especially if you like the franchise, you like the first movie. Ladies and gentlemen, tell me if you've seen it, or if you do like it, or you hate it, tell me down below. That'd be really sick. Thank you so much for watching, man. The support recently has been amazing. I appreciate you all. See you in a bit. Peace.